Yeah, that I was live. Because I haven't done them that much. Let me lower you. I'm so sorry. I've not done them that much to get into that habit, knowing, okay, I just hit live. I just hit live. So in the beginning, sometimes I pause, like something's different. I don't know. I wanted to tell you why I haven't made a video in a while. And YouTube agrees to this, so I'm not doing anything wrong when I say this. I paid somebody to give me watch hours because I was demonetized not too long ago. And the first time when I first got all of my viewers and my watch time and went live, my memory, it just stopped. Oh, I hired her. I paid her to do that, and she did. And I had less watch time hours by myself than I do now, and it only took her a month last time. This has been several months. It's been at least 5, 6 months when I paid her. And it's just an excuse after excuse after excuse of why it's not working. And she came up with another idea, and then she said, um, what was the first step? I had to give them manager permission. And then from that point up until, I think she said 5 days, 4 days, something like that, I cannot post. And I'm like, oh crap. And I started feeling really, really guilty. I mean, really guilty. And so, but I hung in there knowing that my watch hours were going to be raised. And she had said that it would take probably 3 days, 3 to 4 days for me to get monetized. It didn't work. So I had to remove them from the manager permission. And then it was like that night or the next day, she told me to do it again. She said the first time it wasn't working, and the second time it wasn't working. But I wasn't told that it wasn't working until the third day. So there were 6 days. And so now she's doing what she calls the slower but better. I don't know how that's better. Um, Watch time hours. And I'll be honest with you, my watch time hours has not went up since she has said that. I have noticed that on the videos that she said she selected, there are more views, but for some reason my watch time hours have not went up. So that's pretty annoying. Um, but I want to talk about my visits. I've had two while this was going on. I did a video about the first one, but I just didn't like it. I can't tell you why right now. Um, but I was sleeping, and I kind of become aware that the bed was bumping, and I thought maybe I could go back to sleep, and I couldn't. And out of frustration and anger, again, I sat straight up, and I usually have to really help myself to sit up. I don't have strength, so it's a struggle with my arms. But that night, I sat straight up quickly, and I rolled on my knees and looked at the foot of the bed. That's where it felt like it was coming from. And it looked like there was maybe a 3 foot being there. I'm not sure. It was fading the minute I looked over here. And my room is dark, but lit up by my TV. And I just kind of sat there thinking, why do you keep doing this? And I just laid back down. I don't know how long I laid there before I went back to sleep, but it didn't start again. I think they know it's been making me mad. If they could tell me why that's happening and if it's for a good reason, I wouldn't care. But I get nothing. And I say that because when they won't tell me what's going on and they keep doing it and me not being aware of what they're doing, it's frustrating. If they said, hey, that bumping is a machine that's working on your body, and it thumps. It's on top of the bed or it's beside the bed and it thumps, but I get nothing. And then I actually had two. I may repeat myself again at this point. I'm not sure if I talked about it. It was when I got nauseous and sweaty and not a really good feeling to experience. And I think they stopped my heart again. When you do that, it's very scary and super quiet because the blood stops pumping and that sound in which you can hear wasn't there. And then when I start getting clammy and feeling like I'm going to pass out, they make it start again. The first times they did that, I freaked out. I got really scared, and I don't anymore. I'm just like, oh, okay, whatever. And then, and I can't remember if these days, if the first one I told you a minute ago, and the second one, I don't know if they were tied in one visit. I cannot remember. And keep in mind that I have a cognitive impairment. So sometimes I just don't remember. And I didn't even think about going and looking at my other videos, but I would have to watch a few because every title does not match what I'm going through in the video. Then there was another, yes, another visit. I was laying there. I think this is what happens when I'm fixing to go to sleep. I usually just put my phone down and it's like they're waiting for me because then I can see from this wall geometric shapes coming inward and it engulfs me sometimes. I don't recall it engulfing my head, but I do know it goes up to my shoulders, maybe. I can't remember. But it was coming inward. And I don't remember if this happened before that or after, but I felt a needle. Like I heard it. It was a high pitched drilling sound. And then it went through here. It really didn't even sting, but you could feel it. It was more or less painful. I mean, painful. Oh my gosh, painless. Sorry. And so I'm laying there and I opened my eyes to see if I could see anything. I didn't. Um, but it was there quickly. It just, within like maybe 5 seconds, they pulled it back out. I don't know what it was. I don't know what they were doing. But before that or after is when I saw the shapes coming toward me. And I'm laying there awake. I was on my back. And I raised one arm up so I could feel the shapes. It feels like a film. And I felt it engulf my hand. And then if I felt a tremendous heartbeat, or not, maybe not even a heartbeat. It could be just, I don't know. I have no explanation. But it would be like, it felt like a heartbeat, but it was doing it on the outside of my hand, not in my fingertips, not in my wrist, but it engulfs my whole wrist, probably up to here. And then I'm like, oh wow. I know I felt it before, but I didn't expect it again. And then I held my other one hand. Oh my gosh, that's part of my impairment. So I held up my other hand, and after a few moments, it started. It's funny because I can feel it now. After a few minutes, it started catching up with my other hand, and I was sitting there thinking, "Oh wow, this is so awesome." And then, I kid you not, it felt like they put both of their hands on my palms and did this together. It was sliding across my palms at the same time. And I'm sitting there or laying there and I'm smiling and I'm giving thanks for allowing me to experience that. I feel like I'm so lucky sometimes, and sometimes I feel like since I get the lack of information and minimal views of them now, it's sad because I used to see their full form often. I don't know what's changed. I don't know if they think I'm scared, in which I'm not. Now, I will say in the beginning of my awakening, when I seen specific ETs coming at me, some were scary looking. Yeah, very scary looking. I was just sitting there thinking about this one that I saw that it looked like he was in a ship. You could clearly see he was in a ship, and he was in the driver's seat, if you want to call it that. And it was a green, dark green, medium green. It was just all hues of green, and you could see him sitting what looked like a throne. Maybe not even a throne because it wasn't even tall. He was just sitting against something, and you could clearly tell there was armrests under his arms. And he was short. And I got the intuitive feeling that he was a male. And he was fat, and it looked like he had big moles or warts or boils, I don't know, all over him, on his face, on his arms. And he's coming through the ceiling straight at my face. And he wasn't slowing down. So I kind of went in panic mode. And I'm sitting there thinking, oh my God, he's going to run into me. And before he even got to me in very close proximity, he disappeared. And I was like, thank you. That was really scary. He was scary looking. I don't know if I was scared because he wasn't human and he looked scary, or if I was scared because he was coming right at me and I didn't know if he was going to run into me. I can't even decide which I felt at that time. Probably both. And it's funny because I watch and read a lot of things about ETs and what they look like and stuff. And this guy, his race was mentioned. And I think I read about it after this happened. Because I remember sitting up thinking, oh my God, I saw one of those. So yeah, I have been up. I haven't went to sleep. It's 6 in the morning, 6-ish in the morning. And they put me on a new sleeping pill because they had to take me off of my original that I've been on since 2001 because it affects the memories. So they took me off of them and prescribed me new ones to see how I do. 3 times now, I haven't slept in 24 hours. Now, I felt like maybe I could have went to sleep before I got on here, but I, I, I don't like sleeping all day. I think I woke up today or yesterday at 3 p.m. because I didn't sleep the night before. And I fairly quickly went to sleep because I took a sleeping pill, and an hour later it hadn't kicked in, so I took another one, and she said I could take up to two. Um, I took the second one, then I finally went to sleep. There were a couple of times that I thought I could go to sleep this time with the new pills. Um, I feel like I just kind of repeated myself, but I hope you know where I'm going. But I took two last night at the same time, and I wasn't even relaxed. I'm pretty sure it's because there's a lot on my mind. I mean, a lot. And my mind doesn't shut off. That's part of my chronic insomnia. Even when I was a kid, my brain didn't shut off. It was loud, thoughts going in every direction, and it's not very pleasant. And I have to be tired to go to sleep. So I messaged her. I was able to email her, I should say, and ask her to put me on others because this one is not working. Then I had a reminder that it cannot interfere with memory, just in case she doesn't remember. And then a couple of days ago, I'm just going to say this, and I was like, how could I be so stupid? So the day before, whatever day this occurred on, probably 3 days ago, I asked my ex, my kid's dad, if he could bring the big trash bin that the truck comes by and just sticks the arms in it and go like this and empty it. It's big, and it probably comes up to maybe up to my breast. I hate saying that. Sorry. So what he does is he pulls it to the fence, um, and I don't know how he picks it up and puts it over, but he said he struggles to put it over there, but not that day. He didn't say it that day. He did not bring it over, and I was cleaning the house and had so much trash that it was piling up, and so I thought I'm just going to go out there and do it. So I go out there and I pull the trash can to the fence, and there's a chain around the gate in the fence. So I unraveled that, and I seen there was a padlock on it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to have to pick it up. And it's heavy. So I pick it up with all my strength, and I just knew I had it high enough. And the wheels on it caught the top of the fence. But at the same moment those wheels caught the fence, I seen in my peripheral, I don't know what it did or how it did it, I don't know, but my hip gave out. It looked like it buckled or something, I don't know, because I was raising it up like this, and it is heavy, and I gave it my all, and when those wheels caught the gate, fence, whatever, my hip buckled and I fell on my butt, and it hurt, and I kind of overextended that hip. That hip is the same, or is the same, oh my gosh, is the surgery I had on May 5th of this year. So I'm sitting there on the ground, and it hurt, and so I had to quickly yet slowly adjust my leg, and I was just thinking I screwed up. I really just screwed it up. My left hip doesn't hurt that bad at all. It was already almost painless, except for the weather. But it was difficult for me to get up. I picked up the trash can, set it by the gate, and that's all. That's all I did. And I'm walking back to the front of the house to the door, and it hurts. And I come in, and throughout the day, it just kept hurting and kept hurting. And I'm like, I hope I didn't mess it up. It has not been 6 months yet. I don't know if it was fully and completely healed. I know there are like bruising, I think, on my thigh, kind of beside my incision, because it's going inward though, because he had to go on the outside, pointing toward the outside of my leg instead of the inside. And those bruises are about this long, and lines that go toward my 3 incisions that he did. They're still there. So anyway, 2001, well, it was the same time I got my sleeping pills, because I was in so much pain then. I was in a car accident, and I received 3 herniated discs in my back, 2 bulging discs in my back, and I cannot remember how many I have in my neck. I think it's just one that's bulged and herniated. Yeah, herniated. Sorry. But anyway, me falling on my butt without my hands had made me sore again in my lower back. And that night, my right hip, I thought maybe I pinched a nerve, because my right hip, around my hip to my lower back, was very painful. And I'm sitting there thinking, I hope I didn't cause more damage there, because a herniated disc can rupture. Not, well, I don't know if it happens like when you sneeze. I know you can bulge them and maybe herniate them when you sneeze. But my first thought was, I'm hoping I didn't rupture my discs. Um, so I lived in here, and then yesterday my ex wanted to go get a phone number, drive out in the country where this land is for sale. And I love driving out that way. So he asked if I wanted to go. I said, yeah. Well, my hip didn't start hurting that bad until we came back and we went into Lowe's. And when I got out of the car, I could barely move. I'm sitting there thinking, oh my God, this is bad. So it took me a few seconds to start walking. And then when I was walking to Lowe's, my ex was walking slow with me. I said, I'm sorry, I'm going slow. Here in a second, I should be able to go pretty fast. That didn't happen. And so I got really worried. It was excruciating. And when I got home that night, I'm like, I had a pain pill. Why didn't I take a pain pill? But getting out of bed, let me back up. When I'm laying on my back, you know how you bend your knee and you bring the sole of your foot close to your butt? That hurts. And that didn't hurt me in the past after surgery. Last night, I realized that. I went and got my cot mattress. It's like a memory foam because this bed kills my back and hips. And it was getting worse as time goes on. So anyway, I brought my cot mattress in from the Durango. And it's really narrow, but I can lay on my back. And I don't know if my elbows drop, but it's about that thick. And I still kind of hurt. I roll over and I notice my hip hurts. One or the other or both. And so I have a thick piece of foam that I got at Michael's, I think it was, for my Kia. That was going to be, my bedding for the Kia. And I was just thinking yesterday too, I was in that for a whole month before I got the Durango. And I was so thankful to have the Durango because I could lay out straight. In the Kia, I had to keep my knees bent. No matter what, I had to keep my knees bent because the back seat was so short. It's a sedan car. And I was so glad that I was able to get that Durango. I had something else I was going to say about that, but I cannot remember. Oh, I might bring that phone in here and either put it under the cot mattress or put it beside it because it's narrow. And if I want to stretch out, which I rarely do because of my pain, maybe I'll be okay on that mattress. If it's higher than the cot mattress, I don't know if I'll put them side by side. That's going to be awkward. But anyway, I am glad to be on here alive. And I was talking today to my ex, and I said, my editing software, Adobe Premiere Pro, is going to be ending soon because I can't make payment. He offered. And I said, no. I said, there's some things that I won't let you pay for me. Now, my Kia payment and my insurance and my storage, there might be one more. But yeah, I would need help. And I would ask for help on that. But he already agreed that he would do it. So yeah. Oh, my point in saying that is when I get off of the topic, what I'm talking about, I forget. So, what was I saying? See, I go blank. It's like I can be in a full conversation talking about something and then it cuts off. Oh, okay. I remember now. About me not editing anymore. I thought that I could do a lot of lives now. Editing takes so long, especially if the video was long. It takes a while. And it had got there, me trying to do videos every day, it had got to where me editing was a pain in the butt. I was like, I really don't want to edit today. So I'm glad I started going live. That way I could see you. There's one of you watching me. I can see the whoever's in there, whenever I can't even talk English. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Um, I can see who's in the room watching me. How long they stay there. Do they come? Do they go? Because sometimes I'll have one viewer and then it'll go zero, and then shortly after that I have one viewer again. So yeah, that's what life is about, I guess. I do. I have actually watch a YouTuber, all she ever does is go live. And I remember thinking, I just can't do that. It's too hard. I'm so embarrassed knowing I have people watching me at the same time I'm talking. It creeped me out, but now I don't care. It's so weird how things change. I could do it. It's fine. So, so, oh, I've been on here almost 30 minutes. I don't know if you've noticed, I am in my new room. I had painted this wall. I don't even know what color you would call it, but it's a dark green. And then as you can see, that wall is beige. And then that side of the room, it's at like a half a wall. I painted that green and then that end beige. And I like it. I didn't think once I started painting that I liked the green. It didn't look like what I picked out in the sample. But once I painted the whole wall and it dried, I like it. I wanted a better looking wall behind me. And I'm even thinking about bringing my black backdrop. Um, but I don't know. It's pretty bulky and it takes up a lot of room. I might. I'll have to think about it. So I hope at one point that I can walk you through the room and give you different views. It is more room where I can do that. Um, I even have extra furniture in here, and I still have more room than the other one. But I'm going to get off of here, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And I love you very, very much. I'm going to send each and every one of you love, light, and peace. Bye.